Oh, you work at, oh,
Yeah,
okay. Well, you're a 2009 grad,
2009. Yeah.
couple A. What did you learn there that applies to what you do here? Whether it's, negative, neutral, positive.
I think when I found cross country and track in high school, it wasn't the greatest program. You give credit to the coaches who they're there, but they just wanted a program. They didn't really know, how to really build. So if you look at where I was in high school, I wasn't really a top ranked guy. I was kind of middle of the pack. I walked onto this college program where they had national champs,
At
all
where?
Americans at Whitworth University in
Oh, that's
Spokane.
right, that's right. Wow.
And
I didn't know that.
yeah, and so this coach here really kind of helped shape, and he was a very upfront and just kind of very honest coach. He was like, your talent's not that high. He's like, you got to find out somewhere else if you want to succeed, and that's where kind of really dissecting things and really where I became insane about it. Just studying
Every aspect.
every phase. What's the starting pace going to be? What's the terrain, and how's that going to affect me personally? Understanding strengths and weaknesses, understanding what you can do, and understanding more importantly what your opponent can and can't do, and how you can apply it in a race. And that's what we do here.
Wow. So that sounds like um, if you were coaching a college team, perfect. But then as you coach younger kids like seventh graders, right? Now it gets a little bit science and then a little bit
Yeah.
human psychology
So
and the
yeah.
spirit that comes with it. Because some kids, they'll be like, I kind of like riding, but I don't like not you, but I don't like the coach. So I'm not going to, it's very, as opposed to like, oh, okay, well, today we're going to do this. I can't wait to go to practice.
Yeah.
It's
So
more,
I think when we've had the success of this program, we get all sorts of kids who come out, right? And whether it's a young kid training for basketball or soccer or something, and you get the what I call 1 year rentals, right? A guy who tries it and it's like, oh, it's not for me.
1 year rentals.
Yeah. So it's just, and then you get the guys who keep coming back. And so for me, I've learned a lot of patience with middle school kids because one, they're not fully developed. They haven't hit puberty yet, so I do the same thing with them, maybe a little bit more grace, but it's just trust the process. I remember having an overweight seventh grade kid, and then he kept coming back, and by his freshman year he matured a little bit more. He grew taller, a little bit leaned out, and then he started doing really well for us.
It's hard to know.
Yeah, so you never really know what you get as a seventh grade kid.
And then even if they leave, they take some aspects of it that were positive and they apply it to something else. Like, oh, okay, that was hard when I was running.
That's the hope.
And but then doing this, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Another sport or homework or class or whatever. Whitworth is probably still one of the kings out there. If it sounds like they just keep progressing and moving forward. Like 2009, the internet's around now. But if you go back to 1989, coaches are dealing with stuff like hands-on. It's hard to research. You gotta go to the library.
Yeah.
And now it's 2018. So what's changed that makes it easier and more challenging for you? Because you seem like you're not gonna stop at, oh, I'm content with knowing this. Oh, there's something else I just heard about. Are you that guy who keeps, okay, you got something new, I want to know.
Yeah, absolutely. That whole mindset, or that old saying where if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room, is really true. So it's constantly, as Adam alluded to, I write out our program, so, I still have to finish out track and field, but I'll have every single practice day for every single event group worked out.
Let me go show it. That's what you were working on. I mean, I can't see exactly, but
Oh, while you were interviewing Adam, I was looking at race film from the OIA and looking at times and seeing how we stack.
yeah, no wasted minute.
No, no. But it's looking at what are certain workouts we can do, and the workout that you do for maybe, if it's Monday, it's not really for the race that Saturday, it's for the race next Saturday. So it's trying to find that balance, finding when to put days off. And then with track, you got to be a little more specific, a little more technical. When are we going to put the jumpers on the long jump pit? When are we going to have relays work on their
So
handoffs?
for track with the pits and stuff, where do you guys train?
So we get a permit from Hanalani High, and we use their track. I have a great relationship with the coaches up there, and we just be very respectful.
So you can use it daily or it's certain days?
We can use it daily. Sometimes I don't like going up there every day. I think with something like that, the track is a privilege, and it's got to be earned.
Yeah, that's nice because they're just
About
8 or 9 blocks.
800 meters away, half a mile.
What would you say to coaches, old or young, but mainly younger coaches who are starting out with kids like elementary, middle school, developing program plans? I mean, there's stuff online, I'm guessing they can just copy.
Yeah.
Right? But from your experience, you're young, but then this is like 9 years out of high school and you're already progressing.
Yeah.
What would you recommend to them as far as initial approach?
You know, the best thing is have a plan and have a vision. You know, when I applied for this program, I wanted to say what is the best thing that I want to do. What do I feel that would be the foundation of my program? You know, I wrote something that very similar to what I felt passionate about, which is combining faith and athletics, and I presented it to the AT at the time. I said, hey, I want to apply for the cross-country coach position, and this is what I got. And he looked at it, and it's very detailed. And you know, and if you're like me and you have to be really, really detail-oriented, make a detail-oriented program, right? Write every single workout, write every single rep, and then have some freedom to change it. But if you're a little bit more...
For example, when you write out, like, okay, so next Monday, this is what we're going to do, is it like mostly in your head, you just jot down an outline? Or is it like 2 pages long?
What I do is... for me, with my assistant coaches as well, I just make a Google Doc and we'll write down the base of the program. And then if you go on the other page, you have every single kid with every single split from 200 meters to 2 miles. And then you give them the rest period, which group is going to do the most reps. So, you know, maybe one workout that the kids don't like is we do 20 times 300.
So the Google Doc is basically a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And you guys can both add or take away. And you don't have to like type it out and print it on a machine.
No.
Yeah, just for the older guys like us who like, wow, we can text, we can just share this stuff online.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of something.
Yeah.
What's been the hardest year? The first year, or in between, or this year?
Last year was the hardest year.
Because.
And I think.
Because you said there was not enough guys for a team.
Yeah. So what happened was.
But you had Adam.
Yeah, and it was a hard. I don't want to say maybe it wasn't talent. But it was really just our mindset, specifically on the guys. We came with the wrong mindset, and I should have caught it earlier, and that's on me. We were just coming out of a solid season the year prior, and unfortunately we lost 2 guys to military.
So these are the kids, Connor and some of these guys.
So Tucker Chase, who really became kind of the cornerstone for our program for a number of years. Then Connor Martin, who's coming into our own, both left with military, and
when I saw their names when I did the research, I'm like, they were only what grade? Yeah. What happened?
And that was their
had to be.
And the crazy thing is, it was their first or second year running, right? They were brand new at the sport and had so much natural talent.
Oh.
And
they must be kicking it up there wherever they are.
Tucker Chase is not West Point, and he's doing really well. He's not running for them, but he won his state league when he was a senior. I keep in touch with him sometimes. And haven't heard from Connor in a while, but I heard he transitioned to a pretty decent middle distance runner.
Oh.
But with those 2 guys gone, the boys that we have now, they kept saying, oh, if Tucker and Connor were here, you know, think of how good we would be. And we really shot ourselves in the foot because we kept thinking of what could have been. And
well, it's good to mourn and have grief, but then you gotta move.
Yeah. But you know, we believed a little too late, and we tried to. When I realized it, we kind of tried to pull them out as quick as we can. Unfortunately, we fell short of the the league championship, where we only qualified 3. But I mean, we were supposed to get 6 in, and we got 3. So.
But you had 6 runners. It's not like you didn't have them.
Yeah. No. Well, we had the personnel to do it. We just didn't show up.
So that's the beauty and the beast part of a smaller school. Like, if you can motivate everybody and everybody's on track, there's power. But then you're not putting on. You don't have like 100 or 200 kids.
We don't have a lot of kids to pull from. You know, the fact that we've got 40 some odd, 50 some odd kids, which is, you know, 20% of the school is significant. And even that, you know, sometimes this is the best that we got. So I think challenging the 5-6 guys that we had qualify for the state champs yesterday, that was really, you know, these were the guys that I said, hey, I approached them in May and I said, if we can focus for 5-6 months, I was like, if you give me 5 or 6 months, we could walk with a state title. And now we have a very realistic chance.
Did anybody, when you said the word state title, did any of them kind of squint their eyes and go, I don't know, you don't know? Did anybody doubt it? Just a tiny bit.
People did, and then, when I think they've already realized that I'm a little bit insane, a little hardcore about it, right? So I pulled out the data and I said, here it is.
Yeah.
I said, this is logical. And they said, oh, wow, he's right. So, now that...
So times have come down.
Times have come down.
By 10, 15, 30 seconds, a minute.
Yeah.
After they went through summer hell. Well, they're not going to say it's summer hell, but you have a program and it's under control. It's not burning people out, but it's pushing them.
Yeah, we found that, there's programs who try to have them train all out in the summer. We don't do that.
But they got to train.
Yeah, so it's very similar to what we got in college, where it's, here's a chart, here's the paces that we recommend you should run. I like them to keep in touch with me. I'm not trying to micromanage kids, but it's like, hey, just keep me, keep me in the loop. Don't leave me in the dark. Yeah. And
well, if they go, I have to be honest, coach, I didn't train at all this week. Does it depend on the type of kid he is? Do you kind of like get on them, or you just kind of go, well, if you don't do this, you're not gonna bring your time down to this. You got to do it.
I think with high school, you always get kids, and I understand the need for dual commitment, right? Kids are traveling. We have one kid who's trying to get into the military academies as well.
Oh.
We have other kids. Oh, I'm gonna go visit family for a month. In the other states. And so,
but they can go there and run.
Yeah, and they can do that. But I think what I've found is the best approach is it's like I ask them to think ahead, right? A lot of times, and too many people in general, they just think of the right now, right? I'm like, think to when we're standing there in October. Are you going to be satisfied with the outcome?
Yeah.
And when you ask them that question, it really goes, you're right, I'm not, or I think I will be, or maybe I'm training too much.
Do you ever feel like certain kids, like there's so much talent, but they're kind of just wasting the summer?
Oh, absolutely.
So you have to raise the tone of the volume of your voice, and that works, or you just kind of just try and talk to them just like this.
It depends on the individual. Yeah. If I know I can kind of get in their face, I'm gonna get in their face. Yeah. If I have to kind of pat them on the back and bring them along gently, I'll do that as well.
Coach made me cry.
Do I need to get better at that? Of course I do.
Yeah. But the passion has to be there. It can't just be logic and numbers and science and diet. They have to have the passion. So obviously you've got 5 guys who had the passion. And then if you hadn't gone to Whitworth and just said, I'm done. I tried my best. I'm just going to be a regular guy. Yeah. If you hadn't gone there, the course of your life would have been different, and you wouldn't be like, Hanalani wouldn't have this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
I thank God for this path who kind of led me there. Even I had one friend who went to high school with me for a while, then went to Georgia, and he met me at Whitworth again, and him and I have really connected over that. To still have friends from Whitworth that we meet up every now and then.
Oh, you're talking about the run. You guys run together.
Yeah, so there's a group of 5 or 6 of us, and we do races pretty much around the country, around the world.
So college was, roughly 5 years ago. You guys graduated, and then as you guys get older, it's going to be tougher. Of course, you have kids and whatnot.
Yeah, it's
busy
tougher
with work.
Right, I think 3 or 4 of us are married now.
Somebody will balloon up a little bit.
Yeah. And pretty much all of us except one of us have slowed down a bit.
But I like what you said. You guys do the so if you go to a marathon, but they have a relay component. So you guys do the 6 guys, 5 guys. So you do your 5 miles, or 4 miles. A humane distance, not running for 26.2 miles just to say.
Yeah. Well,
I did this by myself. It was not fun.
Well, one of our guys, he marathons. He does maybe about 1 or 2 a year, and he's actually really good at it.
Good for him.
So
you've done marathons, I'm guessing, but it's not your favorite.
I've done one. I think I'm the type of guy, if I want to do it, I want to do it well. Yeah. And unfortunately, at least from a selfish standpoint, I can't really get a solid training base in. I mean, most of the time I'm thinking about growing and developing kids here.
Yeah.
And I want to develop other sports programs here. So it kind of puts my training on the side where I can't really marathon well. I can still maybe do a road race, a 10K, 5K, maybe get away with a half, but that's about it.
You know what would be funny? I just thought about if they shut down Tantalus for a day, how far is it getting up to the top? It's like maybe 3 miles?
I think so, yeah.
It'll feel like 10 though.
Yeah.
Would people running that?
Yeah, there's some races around Tantalus.
Really?
Yeah.
I never hear about it because I'm not a runner, but I just thought, yeah, that would be cool because the idea of driving up there, like, it's a lot of work getting up there, but the view is nice, right?
Yeah.
What's your goal for this group? Because if they finish first, you're not surprised. If they don't finish first, you're not surprised because things happen. But will it be like the kids will be like, I can't believe we didn't win? Are they at that point where they're like, yes, we believe, there's no doubt we can win this?
You know, I think they believe, you know, they're underdogs right now. And I think, you know, if we look at from the start of when I came here in 14 to now, we've kind of been underdogs my whole coaching tenure. And we really want to establish ourselves. You know, hats off to Seabury and Hawaii Baptist. They created great programs. Our mission, our goal is to prove that we're one of the best ones as well. And I think a state title really proves that.
And then you guys won't be underdogs anymore. That's kind of scary, I think.
Yeah, you know, but I think looking at our guys, looking at the character that we've shown, we're up to the challenge.
So 40 to 50 runners, maybe close to 60. Some people say, oh, the enrollment is kind of dwindling a little bit. But the market on this side, you serve the Mililani West Side community. So in theory, there's no reason to doubt that even if enrollment doesn't grow, if it stays the same, you could get more runners somehow. Yeah. You don't need more runners, but you could.
Yeah, well, you know, I think with cross-country and track, it's always good to have more. And finding the ones who are dedicated, finding the ones who are talented. And, you know, if you can find talented and dedicated runners, that's great. You know, that's where we get the Adam Harders, the Ben Hodge, the Jordan Pomeroys that we have here, who those three are doing really, really well. And then you have guys who maybe aren't as talented, but they're still highly motivated. That's probably the next best thing, right? You get that's where you get maybe the Logan Castros, the Emil Toyamas, and, you know, all these names that we're saying, they're going to the state meet this weekend. You know, I think the biggest honor our program can receive is when another program recognizes it. And, you know, for me, when I have, you know, Todd and Duncan, who are both great Punahou coaches, coming up to me and, you know, saying that we're doing a good job here, or they're congratulating my kids, or I see, you know, another coach congratulating my kid, I think that's a great takeaway.
Did Duncan say, you know, Jeremy, I'm gonna spend more time with my grandchildren pretty soon. We're looking for somebody competent, progressive, future forward thinking, and young with energy, can actually still run.
You know,
would you mind thinking about coming over here?
You know, that'd be a great honor. I have so much respect for Duncan and what he's done for this state and for Hawaii running as a whole. But, you know, he's got Todd.
He did the anesthesia when I wrote it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, are you the brother? Yeah.
Yeah. No, but
so that would be nice to be.
Yeah, it would be, and you know, I've got like I said, I got so much respect for Duncan, but you know, he's got Todd Iacovelli over there, Todd, who I knew when I was in high school, and you know, he was the legend back then, and you know, Todd's doing a great job now. But
Todd's a busy guy too.
He is.
So you're not saying no? I'm not trying to start trouble. I want you to stay here. I root for the small guys.
Yeah.
I'm a Kamaki grad, not a big school, and you know, I appreciate. And I lived on the Big Island for 8 years, seeing small schools do great things in different sports. So yeah, so you know, 8-man football, all that kind of stuff. If your ever comes up and Hanalani does well in it, it's like, well, you guys just lost your principal. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of turnover here and there, but if there's one thing that's like a lockdown, safe bet, and it's the coach and the guy who helps run the athletic program, then I think a lot of kids would be like, yeah, my friend runs for them. You know, my friend goes to that school and she enjoys basketball, whatever. It's not just academics.
Yeah, no, I think athletics is a great pull, and you know, the reason why I got into it because I think athletics is a great teacher. You know, it taught me so much, and if I can do the same for another student out there, I will.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. You did a lot.